The film opens with war veteran Ray Francis returning home, ready to leave the military behind for good and marry his girlfriend. Life seems calm as he reconnects with Kelly, a lively young woman enjoying a sunny afternoon in the city park. Ray surprises her and their reunion is filled with joy, especially when he proposes on the spot. Kelly, thrilled, immediately says yes. As they prepare to leave the park, Kelly realizes she's left her book behind. Ray goes back to retrieve it, but their happy moment quickly spirals into chaos. A luxury car pulls up and two men approach them. One of them, Tim, makes unwanted advances toward Kelly. At first, Ray and Kelly try to ignore the intruders, hoping to avoid trouble. But Tim escalates the situation shockingly, exposing himself in front of Kelly. Enraged, Ray confronts the men. In the ensuing struggle, Tim draws a knife. Ray defends himself and in the chaos, Tim ends up fatally stabbing himself. This incident lands Ray in serious legal trouble. Meeting with his lawyer, he's faced with a difficult choice: plead guilty and serve a reduced sentence of 18 months, or fight the charges and risk 5 to 8 years in prison. To avoid a long sentence, Ray reluctantly decides to plead guilty. Meanwhile, the father of the deceased, Harvey Thompson, is consumed by grief and anger. Determined that Ray should never leave prison, he hires someone to uncover Ray's prison details. His plan sets the stage for further danger. Ray arrives at the prison, overseen by the formidable warden Jack Morrison. Harvey personally approaches Jack, offering a substantial sum to ensure Ray's imprisonment is harsh and unending. With this, a brutal system is set in motion. On his first day, Ray and the other inmates are stripped for a security check. One guard, Rico, singles him out, displaying immediate hostility. When Ray intervenes to protect a fellow inmate, he draws even more attention from the guards. Physical intimidation becomes a constant threat, making the prison environment hostile from the start. Ray is later escorted to meet Warden Morrison by another guard, Williams. Here, his background is revealed: 12 years in the military, including 4 tours in Iraq and a Medal of Bravery. Jack feigns friendliness, but it's clear his intentions are far from kind. Ray quickly realizes that surviving this prison won't just be about serving time. It will be about outlasting the corruption, cruelty, and calculated malice waiting for him at every turn. Williams escorts Ray to his cell and gives him a warning about surviving in prison. Despite the intimidation, Ray quickly begins to gain respect from some of the other inmates. A scuffle breaks out early on, but Mazen and his crew step in to support him. Just as tensions threaten to boil over into a larger fight, Williams intervenes, breaking up the confrontation. Ray is assigned to work in the prison library, where he meets David, a seasoned inmate who explains how the books are organized. As Ray heads back to his cell, rival prisoners continue to provoke him, but he keeps his composure. While reading a diary one evening, Ray is ambushed by Rico and 2 other guards, Victor and Fox, who ransack his belongings. Rico finds a photo of Kelly and cruelly desecrates it in front of Ray, further stoking his anger. When Rico begins to escalate the intimidation, Victor intervenes, preventing the situation from becoming far worse. Even routine activities like showering aren't safe for Ray. Another inmate, a hulking man named Hammer, tries to assert dominance, but Ray fends him off with a well-timed punch. Just as Ray seems to gain a moment of control, Rico returns, beating him severely before dragging him to meet Warden Jack Morrison. Ray protests that he was defending himself, but Jack dismisses him, even crudely normalizing the abuse. Victor eventually steps in to stop the guards, fearing they'll kill Ray. During lunch, Ray reconnects with David and meets Jade, an 18-year-old inmate. Ray notices the same convict who had provoked him earlier, highlighting that the threats are constant. In the library, David shares his story. 15 years ago, he and his brother robbed a cash truck, killing 2 guards and a police officer. His brother died during the heist, and the stolen money has never been recovered. David alone knows its location. Rico interrupts their conversation to inform Ray that he has a visitor, Kelly. Ray beams at her from a distance, but the visit is cut short when Rico deliberately provokes him, making crude remarks to inflame his emotions. Despite the harassment, Ray maintains his composure. Outside the library, Ray bonds further with Mazen and his crew while playing cards, earning Mazen's protection. Later, Jade is harassed in the gym by Hammer, the same inmate who previously targeted Ray. Ray intervenes, stopping the attack just as Williams arrives to restore order. Even menial tasks aren't safe. While cleaning the toilets, Ray is confronted by the convict who had tried to fight him earlier. The man quickly learns that Ray is not an easy target, as he easily subdues the attack. From the beginning, every day in prison has tested Ray's strength, resolve, and ability to protect himself and others, yet he consistently proves he's someone not to be underestimated. As always, whenever Ray confronts a hostile inmate, Rico seems to anticipate his every move. The next day, 3 guards who have also been bought off gather to discuss the plan, but Victor objects, declaring he won't be part of their scheme and threatening to report it to higher authorities. Once Victor leaves, Williams, head of the guards, arrives unaware of the plot and reprimands the others for sending Ray to clean toilets instead of working in the library. He warns them not to make decisions without his approval. Rico and Fox report Victor's defiance to Jack, who instructs them to deal with him. They search a prisoner's cell, discover a sharp weapon, and force the man to kneel and apologize. When the convict is later assigned to toilet duty, he discovers Victor's body murdered. Rico and Fox accuse him of the killing, framing him for a crime he didn't commit. During leisure time, Ray chats with David in the library, asking about Mazen. David explains that Mazen controls a powerful drug syndicate in prison and commands a loyal gang. Overhearing the conversation, Mazen's crew warns Ray to tread carefully, as rival factions could make his life deadly. Later, while Ray and David shower, Mazen's men stab the inmate who previously attacked Ray, the rival gang member. Ray immediately confronts Mazen's crew to clarify his innocence, and they believe him, recognizing Mazen's gang as responsible. Meanwhile, 18-year-old Jade continues to suffer at the hands of the sadistic Hammer. In a hidden room, the lights go out as Hammer sharpens his sword once again. Kelly, Ray's girlfriend, comes for her second visit, only to face the guards' cruel treatment. She is forced to undress for a security check after waiting 2 long weeks. Ray, knowing this, is enraged but powerless to intervene. Back in the hidden room, Jade finally defends himself, stabbing Hammer with a screwdriver in a desperate act of survival. Later, Mazen summons Ray to his cell, furious over Ray's refusal to join his gang. While Ray spends time with David, Rico and Fox drag him to the prison workshop. Mazen orchestrates this as part of his intimidation campaign, threatening harm to Ray's loved ones, including David and Kelly. When Rico moves to injure Ray's hand, his patience snaps. Ray overpowers both guards, but his defiance lands him in a dark, isolated cell. Williams later questions Jack about Ray's punishment, but Jack deflects responsibility, reminding him that he is in charge. Weeks in isolation take their toll, and Ray is pushed to the brink, treated like an animal as the harsh, calculated cruelty of the prison grinds him down. After serving weeks in solitary confinement, Ray is finally allowed out of his cell, escorted by Williams, one of the few guards he can trust. Williams, a fellow ex-soldier, tries to understand why Ray has been targeted, but Ray keeps his guard up, unwilling to confide in anyone. Mazen, still seeking revenge, orders Jade to stab Ray. Bound by loyalty to Ray, Jade refuses and Mazen kills him instead. Enraged by the loss of his friend, Ray confronts Mazen's gang in the yard. He swiftly defeats Mazen's men, mocking Mazen for killing his own ally, and challenges him to a one-on-one fight. Jack, fully aware of the escalating violence, allows the duel to proceed. Ray's military training gives him the upper hand, and he nearly strangles Mazen. But a glance from David stops him from delivering the final blow. Suddenly, a knife lands on Mazen's side, and as Mazen attempts to strike Ray from behind, David blocks the attack. In the ensuing chaos, Mazen is stabbed to death by the rival gang's leader. Williams then escorts Ray to Jack's office, where Jack cruelly informs him that his sentence has been extended. Furious, Ray lashes out verbally, provoking Jack into revealing the truth. He had been bribed by Harvey Thompson to keep Ray imprisoned. Armed with this confession, Williams and his team arrest Jack, along with the corrupt guards Rico and Fox. With justice served, Ray visits David, who survives the prison ordeal. David shares the location of the stolen money he had hidden, urging Ray to use it to start a new life. He also entrusts Ray with a bag of money for his daughter, whom he has deeply missed. Ray is finally released and warmly greeted by his girlfriend. He delivers the money to David's daughter and encourages her to reconnect with her father. In the closing scene, Williams supervises a new batch of prisoners, instructing them to wear the prison uniforms. Among them is Harvey Thompson, the father of Tim, whose greed and bribes set the entire chain of events in motion. The cycle begins anew, leaving a chilling reminder of the prison's dark underworld.